Kyle, what's going on,
In the
man?
studio.
Not a whole lot, guys. Nice to see you.
You as well.
How's everybody doing?
Good, man. It's off season. We're ready to get going. How about you?
I'm ready to get going as well. I've really been enjoying the time with the family, but at the same time, like it's kind of like okay, let's speed this up a little bit. So
Now, it's something expected of a gentleman from Wisconsin as yourself, but you are quite the avid sportsman. Is that correct?
yes, absolutely.
Did you get to do some hunting over the holidays?
Yeah, actually, I got to do. So I'm actually currently staying in Michigan with my girlfriend.
Okay.
But I did end up making the trip home to Wisconsin. I got to spend a little bit of time. I got to pheasant hunt with my dad, and then also I got a nice little 9-point buck during deer hunting. So
No
Ooh, very
bears.
nice.
yeah, so
No bears for you.
That's a
no bears this year. I actually think I've got a tag coming up pretty soon, a little black bear tag. So
I think about your Q&A last year all the time about how the weirdest thing you eat was bear meat, and I just think like you're gathering around at Christmas and you're just serving up the bear meat, and you guys are just loving it. Like that's what I picture you doing.
yeah,
With the
well, so,
deer.
so I'm not sure how familiar you are with bear hunting,
Yeah.
but it's actually pretty rare, especially in Wisconsin. You actually have to. It basically takes 10 years to get a bear tag.
wow.
Yeah.
And that's just because they don't have to control that species quite as much. Is that kind of
Um,
the
that,
thought behind it?
that and I also think it's a little bit more. I think if anything, the species is a little bit more thinned out in Wisconsin. So they can't really just go around. It's not like coyotes where it's in Wisconsin. Coyotes are actually like a nuisance animal. It's
Yeah.
like you can shoot these whenever you want.
Which is because they don't have any predators because people have been killing them all. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's the circle of life, man.
Yeah.
So what is the most delicious that you have? Pheasant are delicious. Do you enjoy that more than deer, or is there a meat that you like
No,
more?
venison's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Venison, I've kind of grown up on that. Things like venison summer sausage, venison jerky, stuff like that.
You gonna bring some back with you? Is that coming
Yeah,
home? Awesome.
yeah, absolutely.
All right. If that somehow makes its way to the office, I don't think anybody will be upset. Just so you know.
I can definitely see what I can do.
Well, let's talk about serious stuff now since we've got all the shenanigans out of the way.
Yeah.
Good off season so far. Anything else that any other highlights over the quote unquote off season?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is just sort of getting to relax and spend some time with my girlfriend. And then I guess the biggest thing is we actually we adopted a second cat. So we brought a second.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We brought a second cat into the house. So
I did not know you were a cat person as well.
um, I'm more of a dog person, but also
Yeah.
at this point in my life, I kind of realized that my lifestyle isn't acclimated to a dog.
Yep.
Not to mention it's our cat, but once I come back to OKC, it's kind of staying in Lansing with my girlfriend. And one of the reasons why we actually wanted to get the second cat is because her original cat slightly overweight, so we wanted
Um,
to get him a little kitten to play with. So
there you
little
go.
What's the cat's
yeah.
name, or what are both their names?
The older cat is named Chester. He's a pretty traditional orange and white tabby cat, and then the newest one is a little 6-month-old long-haired black cat named Charlie.
Nice.
Nice.
Are you planning to stay with them kicking the ball, trying to go viral with one of those save videos or anything?
I haven't tried doing anything like that yet. Maybe.
Okay, let us know. Film it. We'll post it. We need the content. Bud.
We do, and cat content performs very well. Now, are you
I
are
know.
you anywhere close to getting an oil painting of you and Chester? And
No, I need the bearskin rug first,
yep.
and then we can recreate the CJ picture with me laying on the bearskin rug.
I think you're just a white linen shirt away, and you'll have double the cat. So
Exactly.
that's bragging rights right there, if you ask me.
Exactly. I've just got to one up CJ as much as I can.
You keeping in touch with the goalkeepers union?
Yep, our goalkeeper group chats actually stays pretty
Weird.
stays weird, stays active. I think it's weird because we've got a Twitter feed, we've got an Instagram feed, we've got another actual group chat, text message chat. We've pretty much got everything going on. So
Nice.
So many forms of communication.
too many.
Well,
When
Kyle,
they get weird, I'm sure it is.
I wanted to talk a little bit about last season. Emma, you went on loan at RGV and had a good showing. Kind of talk to us about your experience in OKC, and then what it was like going down there and getting some minutes in the league.
So I loved my experience in OKC. Obviously, that's why I kind of chose and was lucky enough to have OKC bring me back. Loved the group that we had in terms of the goalkeepers. A lot of experience, a lot of learning that I got to do, even though it may not have been the most productive in terms of game minutes. I think that I learned a lot from both Cody, CJ, and Lex, of course, along with JP. Whenever he would kind of stop by. So I loved my time and the training environment. It was just always a great time. And then also just the group of guys on, the field players. I think that I was really, really close with them. Excited to see the returners. Brad is actually also from Michigan. I've actually seen him a couple times. Just nice to see a friendly face. But then my time down in RGV, I think, was really, really good for me just because at the end of the day, professional footballers, they want to play minutes. They want to play meaningful minutes. And obviously I got that chance. A little bit of an interesting circumstance happened because, as I'm sure probably everybody knows, I went down there, played in a match against San Antonio, and then we had a little bit of a COVID outbreak. So played one game, then pretty much immediately got shut back down, which was not exactly ideal, but also it was just sort of on par with how the rest of 2020 was going. So unfortunate that I actually got to miss out on a few games. I think we ended up having 2 games, one against Tulsa and then one against New Mexico got canceled. But at the same time, I'm very, very happy and lucky that we kind of came back. Had a nice little showing against OKC as well. So that was kind of weird, but also very fun.
I was going to ask you, how much trash do you talk like with CJ and them about how you got a big win against us, against yourself? Kind of, I don't know. That's weird.
It's always, I don't know, like it's super strange. There's actually a video of the free kick that Brownie scored that I have seen enough of. That video can go away. But just sort of being caught up in that moment as soon as that free kick went in, as a goalkeeper, I'm preserving a lead, I just immediately turn and grab the ball. And then Christian comes up to me. He's like, Kyle, like, come on, you got to give us the ball. Like, let's be smart here. And I'm like, yeah, it's a really good point. So it was, I don't really think that I bring it up that much. I feel like it definitely gets brought up, and I don't try to I don't just wake up and be like, good morning, goalkeepers. Remember when I beat you? But, it comes up pretty naturally. But also I think with the union that we had, there was no resentment. I think that they were very happy to see me get some meaningful minutes. It just so happened to be against them.
Yeah. Well, since you did bring it up, what were your thoughts as you saw that free kick going? Did you think it was going over?
Can I swear on here?
Sure.
Yeah.
My immediate thought was, oh.
Well, the big one. I thought you were going to say,
yeah. I mean, you said I could, so I just went. But my immediate reaction was, I'm in trouble, and I'm not going to get there. And then it's kind of a little bit of praying that it is going over. So,
like you said, you going, and I think you stopped Jaime like point blank range, had a real nice save. So, I mean, you had a good performance overall. So you definitely you more than made up for that, and not that that was any fault of your own. I mean, maybe you could have hit the wall better. I don't know, man.
I don't really think so, but.
Well, while we're on the topic of RGV, we just announced Rob Coronado's signing. I guess you would have gotten to know him a little bit. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, I'm super excited to play with Rob again. I think of him very, very similar to Zach, how he plays on the right, where he loves getting forward. He loves joining up in the attack, but then also he's very, very strong defensively. He was sort of one of the corner pieces for RGV. I remember even, during film sessions, it's weird to have an outside back's name brought up when we're learning about offensive tendencies. But when we were planning for RGV, JP would often mention Coronado joining in the attack and overlapping and everything like that. And as soon as I joined RGV, I very quickly saw the danger that Rob can sort of, give to other teams, but also I saw how great he is defensively, but then also how great he is in the locker room as well.
Nice.
Yeah, 100% tackles won is quite a startling statistic to pick out of that. Once I saw that on the release that Tyler put out, that was like, oh, okay. So this is for real. This is good. But anything else that you can remember from your time at RGV? I know, getting the minutes was hard to come by, and 2020 was a bad year, I think, for any goalkeepers that were trying to get minutes. You had no Open Cup. You had a truncated season. I mean, tell us kind of the benefits of what you saw getting out of RGV.
I think that the benefits that I saw, just getting some minutes in RGV at the very basic, end of it was, up until that point in my career, I had never really had any coaches that were like, all right, you're our number one, you're our guy.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, the minutes that I had played in Reno, the first game that I was brought in for, it was sort of, hey, we need a guy in a pinch. And then going on after that, it was sort of, hey, the other goalkeepers are cup tied to San Jose, so you're kind of the only person. So it was really, really refreshing for me to kind of go down there into RGV and for them to sort of be like, listen, you're our guy, we're committing to you. We know that mistakes are going to happen, but we see you as the number one. We see you as the number one finishing out the season. So it's sort of like just a nice little confidence boost, kind of proving that obviously I have what it takes to play in the league, but also I feel like I knew that, but it's also nice getting that little bit of reassurance. And then it's also just nice getting, training is one thing, but also getting to play and getting the feeling of 90 minutes against another team is definitely something that's massively important, as well as the home game against Austin with RGV was actually my very first career shutout. So
there you go.
Yeah,
don't forget that.
Nice to get that under my belt as well.
Well, as we kind of close the book on 2020, what are your goals as not just an individual, but kind of as for the team, or your impact to the team for 2021?
2021, looking forward, obviously, playing any minutes would be a step up from 2020. Obviously, I don't really think that was any downside from me. Our goalkeeping core was immensely strong. I think we had the best goalkeeping core in the league. But looking forward to 2021, hoping to provide a little bit more on game days. Hopefully, whether it be Open Cup starts, whether it be, a few starts in the league, I'm hoping to, sort of find my way into a starting 11. But then also, at the end of the day, I think even when you're not starting, it's massively important for you to just sort of be there every single day and help the guys that are, being put out in the starting 11, kind of getting the best out of them day in and day out so that we can put the best product on the field to sort of get back to some winning ways.
That's great.
Very nice.
So as we go into 2021, you'll be coming in. What's your plans coming in? You're in Michigan now. When do we get to see you back in Oklahoma City?
So I'm actually planning on making a nice little road trip down with my girlfriend. So I think next Thursday night we're starting the road trip. We'll stop in Wisconsin to see my family for sort of one last get together, and then sort of making a COVID-friendly road trip, stopping in St. Louis to break up the drive, and then I think I should be moving into my apartment around February 1st. I think that's sort of the plan at this point. What's up?
Who are you rooming with this year?
They're bringing back the squad, so I've already got Brad and Kodai back.
Nice.
So
Who's the cleaner of the two? Or of all three, who's the cleanest?
Me.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's the best cook?
Oh, nice.
Also me.
Also you?
Yeah.
Because I heard Kodai enjoys cooking a bit.
Kodai does, but I think that I think that we're all very, very good cooks, but I feel like I'm just the best because I feel like cooking is one thing that I really sort of pride myself in a little bit. I got to experience a lot of different dishes and everything like that last year. One thing that my apartment actually did was we would have a weekly sort of family dinner, if you want to call it that. So each week we sort of took turns making some different dishes. Kodai introduced us to some Japanese cuisine. Brad is a little bit more of the health nut. He kind of leans more towards like the gluten-free, dairy-free. I'm a little bit more traditional. I think one time I made pizza from scratch, jerk chicken, steak, just sort of those are some of the staples. This off season, I've actually gotten into making pasta from scratch. So
that's not easy.
No, it's not, but I feel like it's definitely rewarding.
So is that something you would be willing, possibly, for a little bit of social media content, maybe throwing down a challenge to your roommates or possibly other teammates?
Yeah,
maybe
I definitely think so.
Kind of an Iron Chef.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm always down for it.
All right.
What would your secret ingredient be? Beer jerky?
You get venison.
Venison, probably. I could probably fit that in.
That's a tough meat to work with. It's so lean. You really don't have a lot of margin for error.
No, and that's the secret. But if you do it well, it really comes off. Yeah,
it's very good on with cream cheese on a half jalapeno wrapped in bacon. Which all those things on their own are good. Yeah. So really.
But if you make the combination, it's just fantastic.
It's just even better.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, did you guys have like a roommate nickname or anything like that, or did you call yourselves a certain? No,
not really. I don't know.
It sounds like a really talkative group, though.
It's pretty talkative. I feel like it was pretty talkative, but also we spent so much time in the apartment because of 2020 that it kind of got to the point where we enjoyed spending time with each other, but also, there were nights when we would, kind of watch movies and stuff like that. But also there were times when I was like, okay, I'll be in my room. If you guys need me, don't. So
it's just like a marriage. At some point you run out of things to talk about and you sit and stare at the TV.
Exactly. But one of my favorite movies, there's a nice little line, Pulp Fiction, where, it's rare where you can just kind of enjoy silence with people. And my roommates are very talkative, but at the same time, it's nice to sometimes just shut up with them as well.
Kyle, just want to end on this note. Anything that you'd like to say directly to the Energy FC supporters, for 2021?
The biggest message that I would sort of have for the Energy FC supporters is just, I feel like a lot of the players know that the standard in 2020 wasn't good enough, especially the on-the-field product. And I think that a lot of what we're doing in this offseason is to change that. A lot of it is to raise that standard and sort of bring back, because we know that we have the best fans in the USL and they deserve a better standard on the field than what we gave them in 2020. So that's what we're hoping to bring in 2021.
Awesome. Energy FC fans, that's your goalkeeper, Kyle Ihn. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Safe travels to you, and we'll see you shortly.
Thank you. See you guys soon.
See you, Kyle.
See you, buddy.